Jesus, you look at that sad sack. Oh, don't cry.
What are you looking at? You got a problem?
Here we go again.
Whoa, what's this?
Let's go!
It's a joke? It's a joke, right?
It's 1979, and Iran is caught in the grip of a revolution. The old regime has collapsed, and the streets belong to the revolutionaries. They storm the U.S. Embassy and take around 60 Americans hostage, throwing the government into crisis. Not long after, Iraq launches a brutal invasion. Thousands of innocents are slaughtered, and countless others are forced to fight. Men are pulled from their homes and sent to the front lines. Ali Jahani is 17, just 1 year away from being drafted into the war, a fate that almost certainly means death. His father knows this pain too well. He has already buried one son who never came home from the front. Late one night in the dim back streets of Tehran, Ali's parents hand their only remaining son over to a smuggler, hoping he can escape hidden in the back of a truck. Before he leaves, his mother Layla presses a small key into his hand, a simple keepsake to remind him of home. The smuggler explains the plan. When they reach the border, he'll give a signal, a knock on the cabin wall. That's when Ali must climb up and hold onto the ceiling. If he slips, it'll be the end for both of them. Hours pass and they approach the border. Everything goes smoothly until it doesn't. The key his mother gave him slips out of Ali's pocket. The sharp sound draws the attention of a harsh, suspicious guard. He stops and then moves closer to check. Ali's muscles tremble as he clings to the metal bar above, every heartbeat echoing in his ears. At last, the guard finds nothing but the key and walks away. 2 weeks later, Ali starts a new life with his uncle in East Petaluma, California, 7,500 miles away from home. It's his first day at school, and he immediately feels out of place. Students stare at him with uneasy looks, and the girls avoid him as if he doesn't exist. He soon gets to meet with the school bullies who are busy helping another kid explore the depths of the dumpster. Later in French class, the teacher introduces him to the room.
Ali Dad, Jir and Shalalu Jahani.
Ali speaks English fluently, and with a half-French mother, he handles French just as easily. But his skills don't earn him any friends. To the students, he's still Iranian, and back in Iran, the new Islamic government is holding dozens of Americans hostage. At lunchtime, Ali sits alone, unpacking a small meal of korma sabzi from home. His quiet moment doesn't last. Mike, the head of the bullies, walks in and takes a seat beside his girlfriend. His eyes land on Ali right away, and he sees an easy target. Mike mocks Ali's clothes and sneers at what the boy's eating. Then he starts summoning his herder with a farmyard flare.
Bah! Bah!
Among all the students, only Christy dares to speak up.
What are you doing?
Aren't they all like goat herders and farmers where he comes from?
Oh yeah, you mean like 90% of the people in this town.
But her words barely slow him down. Fed up with the humiliation, Ali gets up and leaves the cafeteria. Christy follows soon after. From a corner of the room, the school's wrestling coach watches everything unfold. After school, Ali heads home and comes across a restaurant sign that's pure hospitality. When he gets home, things aren't any better. His uncle Hafez is drunk, desperately seeking a pair of ears to dump his frustrations on. He rambles about the old days, when everyone used to love him as an immigrant.
When I used to walk into a disco, the American girls, they would throw themselves at me.
Now with politics messing everything up, he can't stop complaining about how unfair it all is. The drunken talk soon turns into anger, and Ali hurries upstairs as his uncle shouts after him, calling him bad luck. The next morning, Hafez is back to his usual self. Before Ali leaves for school, his uncle even hands him a packed lunch. But Ali's not eager to give the bullies more ammunition, so the lunch goes straight into the trash. Meanwhile, Hafez heads to his auto repair shop, only to find fresh hate sprayed across his garage door. Another day, another round of scrubbing insults off the walls. Back at school, Ali is desperate to fit in. He tries joining a sports team. Football seems like a good start until he comes across some notoriously unfriendly teammates.
Maybe I try a different sport.
On the basketball court, things aren't much better. Everyone plays rough, and Ali proves he's got decent aim, just not at the hoop.
What the hell?
Later, while daydreaming in the main hall, Ali gets a not-so-accidental shoulder check from Michael.
Oh, don't cry, Ali Baba. It was an accident.
Just as Big Mikey's about to follow up with something worse, Principal Skinner shows up, scolds them both, and marches them straight into his office. The principal deals with them one at a time. Michael gets his turn first, then it's Ali's. Skinner tells Ali that he can see he's a smart kid and reminds him that everyone in America comes from an immigrant background. The struggles he's facing, Skinner explains, are challenges many have gone through before. With that, he gives Ali a warning and sends him on his way. On the walk home, Ali runs into Christy. After school, she has to help her mother run their restaurant. Mom is frustrated about her poor grades in French and even threatens to sell her car to pay for a tutor. Hearing this, Ali steps in with an offer. She doesn't need to lose her car. He can tutor her for free and promises he'll help her get an A. Christy likes the idea and smiles, clearly tempted, but says she needs a little time to think about it. That night, Hafez is on his usual routine of drinking, this time with a friend named Pasha. When Ali walks by, Hafez brings up the lunch he tossed earlier.
My sister's son. She got him out of Iran because he was too small to fight. The army didn't want to waste a gun on him.
Uncle, you're drunk.
So what? This is my house, not yours. Yet, you disrespect me by throwing away the food that I so generously prepared for you?
Pasha tries to calm him down, but Hafez won't drop it. He keeps humiliating Ali and gives the boy a shove. Ali reacts on instinct. One quick move and his uncle crashes into a pile of boxes. Shocked, Ali bolts out of the house before things get any worse. He finds his way to a wrestling gym where a dual meet is underway between East Petaluma and Windsor high schools. He slips into a corner to watch. Michael and Christy happen to be there too. The next bout is in the 132-pound class. Toad from East Petaluma going up against Roman Knox, a two-time state champion. Toad looks nervous and Coach Plyler does his best to calm him. The whistle blows. Knox slams Toad hard to the mat and twists his arm so hard that it snaps. The coach steps up for his student and calls Knox out. Politely and calmly as always, but Knox couldn't care less.
What do you know about winning, old man?
Elsewhere in the crowd, Ali suddenly feels something cold dumped over his head. Michael has offered him a drink. Ali responds by grabbing Michael's jersey and calmly using it to wipe himself off. Michael charges after him, while Christy can't hide her smile at Ali's bold move. Later in his room, Coach Plyler sits quietly in meditation. He's a divorced ex-military pacifist, leading a wrestling team that hasn't won in forever. Now the principal pays him a visit with a warning. He wants wins on the board or the whole wrestling program will be cut due to budget. But the principal makes one thing very clear. Ali's off limits. In his eyes, putting the new kid on the team would cause more trouble than it solves. The very next day, the prohibited knocks on Plyler's door. Ali shows up at the gym, eager to join the wrestling team. Coach Plyler tries every excuse to push him away, but Ali's ready for him. By the rulebook, the coach has to let the new kid try out. Cornered, Plyler gives in. Ali doesn't go easy on himself either. He points straight at Jimmy, the team's strongest wrestler, as his opponent. Even though Ali has never wrestled before, he surprises everyone by holding his ground. He even uses the hang on for dear life technique that brought him to America. From the sidelines, Plyler studies him closely. Eventually, Ali gets pinned, but makes Jimmy admit he's tougher than he looks. Just when Ali thinks he should give up wrestling too, Plyler tosses him a wrestling uniform and tells him to be back tomorrow. Good news never seems to show up without bad news right behind it. At home, Ali's uncle tells him he's done. Between Ali's attitude and the fact that his garage business is dead, no one brings their cars anymore, Hafez says he can't afford to support his nephew or even his visa. He doesn't care that sending Ali back to Iran could be a death sentence. He just wants him out of the house. Crushed, Ali rushes to his room and starts packing. A moment later, Hafez comes in and learns that his nephew has actually made the wrestling team. Hafez, once a solid wrestler himself, suddenly sees a reason to care again.
It would be nice to see a Persian boy beat the American. That is something I would like to see. And I'm going to teach you how to bust their faces.
Uncle, there's a coach already.
And coach. I read the paper. He's a peacenik on a losing streak. Do you want to win?
With fresh motivation, he decides he'll train Ali himself and pass on everything he knows.
You will listen to everything I say.
So I can stay?
The next day at school, Christy walks up to Ali and tells him she's made her decision. She'll take him up on his tutoring offer. Later in the gym, Coach Plyler starts teaching Ali the basics of wrestling. That's when the principal walks in. With the hostage crisis dominating every headline, he warns that letting an Iranian face off against Americans would only spark outrage. In response, Plyler assures him that Ali will only be a reserve. No matches, no spotlight. Back home, Ali finds himself under Hafez's version of training. His uncle hands him a pair of traditional Persian exercise instruments known as meals and tells him to swing them 100 times a day to build strength. He doesn't even bother sticking around to count.
Count for yourself. Cheat if you don't care to win.
After his trainings, Ali meets Christy at their restaurant to help her with French. They soon find something in common. Christy lost her father to military service the same way Ali lost his brother. Despite how people treat him, Ali feels lucky just to be alive here.
I'm here in California, sitting across from a pretty girl who's not covered from head to toe, and nobody's putting us in jail.
A few nights later, the wrestling team gears up for another dual meet. Ali's listed in the 126-pound class, and even Hafez shows up to cheer him on. The starting 126-pound wrestler suddenly feels sick and can't compete. With no backup left, Coach Plyler turns to Ali. Before sending him out, the coach gives clear instructions. Step on the mat and lose, but not by a pin. If he loses on points, the team earns a tie. The match kicks off, and Ali's off to a rough start. His opponent shoots a clean double leg, and Ali's down on his stomach. The crowd shouts racist insults from the stands. Coach Plyler keeps yelling at him to stay down. But then Hafez steps up to the edge of the mat, shouting at him to get up over and over. Ali listens, and on his first try, he's slammed right back down. The guy almost pins him, but he manages to flee the hold just in time. They reset. Ali keeps struggling to escape, but it's going nowhere. Then, in a single perfect moment, Hafez gives the signal, and Ali turns the tables. He reverses the hold and pins his opponent flat on the mat. The crowd responds with loud boos as Ali walks off the mat a winner. Instead of praise, he faces consequences. Plyler punishes him for ignoring the instructions, and he himself gets an earful from the principal. From that point on, Ali's world finally starts to brighten. He trains harder than ever, picking up new moves from his uncle and building his strength. Tournament after tournament, he comes out on top, winning 8 matches in a row. Everyone calls him Wizard now. Word of his streak reaches Knox, and he instantly decides to drop weight, just so he can face this Iranian boy on the mat. Meanwhile, Ali earns respect from his own team. Jimmy and the others surprise him with an East Petaluma jersey. Outside of wrestling, Christy's thriving too. With Ali's tutoring, her French grades improve fast. One night, Ali, Christy, and their friends sneak into a private pool. It's all laughter and splashing until the owner shows up. Everyone bolts except Ali and Christy. Once the danger's over, they share their first kiss. Sometime later, before a match, the crowd begins to shout anti-Iranian chants, pressing down on Ali before he steps onto the mat. Coach Plyler, noticing the tension, tells him to wait off to the side. While waiting, Ali overhears Christy talking with her friend. When asked if she's dating Ali, Christy quickly says no and calls the idea disgusting, brushing it off like it's something to be ashamed of. The words sting, but Ali doesn't have time to dwell. He's called to the mat. His opponent tries to show off with fancy moves before the whistle. But when the match begins, Ali slams the boy hard on the mat, pins him, and leaves the whole gym in shock. Even Principal Skinner rises to his feet and applauds the stunning victory. After the match, Roman confronts Ali in the locker room. He throws out threats, warning that their paths will cross on the mat soon. Roman keeps running his mouth, but Ali doesn't take him too seriously.
When I want something, I don't stop until I get it. You know what I really want?
A sandwich.
I want to break your neck. I want to rid America of one more flag-burning sand nigger.
Later, Ali and his uncle begin studying Roman's wrestling style. They watch recordings of his past matches, and Hafez notices something important. Roman's weakness is his balance. With this in mind, Hafez starts teaching Ali new techniques designed to take advantage of it, even teaching him one dangerous move where Ali has to leap over his opponent to secure a pin. Even with the training, Ali feels unsure. Roman isn't just any wrestler. Sensing his fear, Hafez gives him advice. With Reagan now in the White House and the hostage crisis finally over, he says this is Ali's chance to change how people see Iranians. In his eyes, everyone respects a winner, no matter where they come from. If Ali wants respect, he has to beat Knox. To do that, he must first conquer his own fear. And according to Hafez, the best way to face Roman is to start by facing someone else Ali's still afraid of. The next day at school, Ali decides to follow his uncle's advice and confront the one person who's been intimidating him since day one. Just as he's closing in, Christy suddenly steps into his path. She asks why he's been ignoring her. Ali tells her he overheard her conversation with her friend, how she denied being with him and spoke as if she was disgusted by him. Leaving Christy speechless, Ali walks past her and goes straight to Mike.
Whoa, 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 what's this?
Let's go!
It's a joke? It's a joke, right?
The fight breaks out quickly. Fists fly both ways, but Ali gets the upper hand, locking Mike's arm between his legs in a painful hold. That's when Principal Skinner arrives and shuts it down. After finding out Ali threw the first punch, Skinner doesn't waste a second. Ali's kicked off the wrestling team on the spot. Back home, Ali learns the news that Hafez has already heard from the principal. Mike's shoulder has been dislocated. Even though Ali's no longer allowed to wrestle for the school, Hafez is not angry. Instead, he tells Ali to hold his head high and be proud of the warrior he's become. Later, Coach Plyler shows up at Hafez's garage. He admits he's impressed with Ali's skills on the mat. With the sectional tournament only 2 weeks away, Plyler asks Hafez to join him as assistant coach to help train the team. Hafez can hardly believe what he's hearing, and he agrees without a second thought. Soon he's on the mat with Coach Plyler. Ali's sitting on the bleachers, silent and frustrated, watching a team he can't be part of anymore. Later, as he walks down the school hallway, Christy catches up to him, desperate to explain. She tells him she truly cares about him and apologizes, but Ali's still upset. Then, to prove she has nothing to hide, Christy kisses him right there in front of everyone. The students around them stare, but Christy doesn't care. Afterward, Ali rushes to the principal's office, asking for one more chance to rejoin the wrestling team. The principal shuts him down immediately, saying rules are rules, and Ali has to live with the consequences. Ali doesn't give up. He pulls out the small key his mother gave him, calling it the Paradise Key. Then he tells the story behind it, how back in Iran, the Revolutionary Guards used to give these keys to young boys, promising they would open the gates of heaven. Those boys were then sent into minefields, clearing the path for soldiers.
I didn't believe that, and my parents didn't believe that. If I followed the rules, I would be dead. I know what I did was wrong, and I'm really sorry. This jacket, it means everything to me.
Ali's short speech moves the principal enough, and he gives the boy another shot on the wrestling team. In the next few matches, the team performs better than ever thanks to Plyler and Hafez's combined training. The sectionals are about to start, and Coach Plyler has to skip the event for mandatory paperwork at the Veterans Housing Office. He hands the leadership to Hafez, who accepts without hesitation. At the sectionals, Ali dominates his match, pinning his opponent and becoming the only one from his team to qualify for the state tournament. That night, the team goes out to celebrate. Ali invites Hafez to join, but his uncle says he has a date. Moments later, as he crosses the street, a truck comes out of nowhere and hits him. In one moment, Ali loses not just his coach and mentor, but the only family he has left in California. He no longer has a legal sponsor in the country, which means he's now considered an illegal alien. The principal discusses the situation with Coach Plyler, who immediately steps up and offers to become Ali's new sponsor. But since he isn't family, the screening process takes time. Until it's approved, Ali has to stay in a juvenile facility. The timing couldn't be worse. The state tournament is coming up and the IRS expects him that same day. Later, while talking with Christy, Ali tells her he has no intention of showing up to the IRS. Christy warns him that skipping it could get him deported, but Ali says he'll be at the state tournament no matter what. The day finally arrives. Both Ali and Roman fight their way through the brackets, crushing every opponent in their path until they meet in the finals. Just before the match, Coach Plyler pulls Ali aside. Roman hasn't lost in 48 matches, but Plyler believes Ali has something the champion doesn't. If Ali channels that same fighting spirit that's carried him this far, Plyler says he can win. The final match begins and Ali shows an unpredictable wrestling style. The crowd loves it, but Roman dominates quickly. He scores a clean takedown, hooks his leg in, and starts grinding to pin Ali. The pressure's intense, but Ali holds out until the buzzer saves him. The first period ends with Roman ahead, 4-0. In the second period, the coin toss goes to Roman, and he chooses the bottom position. The whistle blows, and Roman throws his head back, catching Ali square in the nose. The referee calls a foul, giving Ali a point. As the match continues, Ali surprises the crowd with an incredible backflip that lands him right behind Roman. But before he can build on the momentum, Roman flips the tables literally, throwing Ali flat on his back. It looks like the end until the buzzer goes off again, saving Ali by a second. The third period begins and Ali's down by 7 points. Frustrated, his eyes drift to the empty seat next to Coach Plyler, the one where Hafez used to sit. He remembers the move Hafez taught him to escape a takedown. He uses it, breaks free, and locks Roman in a tight cradle hold that almost gets the pin. But Roman manages to slip out of bounds just in time. With only 20 seconds left on the clock and the score still against him, Plyler tells Ali to use the risky move Hafez once taught him. Ali runs through the plan in his head, waits for the perfect second, then launches himself over Knox and slams him to the mat. The ref counts the seconds, and just before time runs out, Ali pins him.
I don't know how to stop. I just go till I drop. Whether it's working or shots, give it all that I got. You can watch me work in my element. Anyone in the way is irrelevant.
After the match, a man from the Iowa University approaches Ali, clearly impressed. He offers him a full scholarship on the spot and even promises to help fix his visa problem through a state-level connection. For the first time in a long while, Ali's future looks wide open. Later, Ali visits Hafez's grave. He gently places his medal on the tombstone and dedicates it to his uncle.
Over 70,000 Iranian boys walked to their deaths in the Iraqi minefields. They were told that their only worth was to die so that others could live. That a better world waited for them on the other side of the battlefield. About that part, they were right.